Hello, hello. This is just being melanin, just being melanin. That's it. And I was thinking as I'm starting this journey of being an artist and a creator, and I realized my identity, the identity that I have is being challenged, because you're basically being vulnerable with the world and basically being exposed for yourself, for who you are. And in my authenticity, I had to find who I am as a person and what I stand for. Because if you want to stand on business, right, what's your business about? If authenticity is the new currency, then who are you? And I am a black man, you know, first and foremost, I'm a black man. That identity is part of who I am and what I represent, because I am living the black experience, and the black experience is the best experience, to be really honest. Like, black people just do it better, and it's great. I love it. I love being melanin. Just the fact that as a black man, the image is the first image is of a monster based on the constructs of society, right? My identity, first and foremost, is one that can get me killed. So I guess the path that I'm trying to go for is to have safety in my own authenticity as a black man, and having the freedom to move past conditioning, fears, insecurities, and attachment to the outcome. And choosing that path is kind of like one of the hardest things you'll do. The path of authenticity, the path to confront all of your shadows and insecurities and judgments and fears, and just hit them off one by one. I guess that's the real work, right? Because your inner world will only reflect your outer world. Change happens on the inside. And when that change occurs, your outside world will reflect that. So don't be fooled by perception. Yeah, don't be fooled by perception. I'm a black man, proud of who I am, proud of my becoming, and in my becoming, I'm unbecoming the limitations of pain that has been put on me generationally, It's crazy to understand that as an artist, you have to know thyself to know the world. As an artist, you have the gift of creating based on how you feel, okay? to make sense of the emotions that are hard to make sense of, that words can't describe, you know? So words can't describe how I feel, so I paint. Words can't describe how I feel, so I dance. Words can't describe how I feel, so I write. Making sense of the world around us, you know, that's why art is necessary. Art is crucial in an environment that tends to forget. Yeah. Just a constant remembering and forgetting, and then remembering and forgetting, breaking past limitations and conditioning and projections of other people, but, you know, such is life. So don't be fooled by perception, right? Like, the first identity I'm learning and growing and being, and that I have the foundation to stand on, is being a black man. You know, being a black man is taking responsibility for who you are, you know, taking responsibility for your own actions. Yeah. Taking responsibility for your own actions. As a black man, you set the example. I understand that although you make mistakes, you take responsibility for those mistakes. That is it. You set the example by treating people fairly and understanding that patience is key and stillness is key. And emotional regulation is how you'll get through it. Be holding space and listening. It's crazy. Just being me. I'm 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 just being me. Hey, hey, I'm just being me. Hey, hey, I'm just being me. That's funny. Yeah. I don't know. I think being a black man and going through the black experience and really just like trying to find out who I am as a person and exploring my own freedom to express all versions of myself and love myself authentically through any transition, you know. So sometimes I get like I get like discouraged because there's so much pressure to be a black man, you know. There's pressure to provide, pressure to be stoic and to be just to be I don't know, to be more, you know. And I think sometimes that pressure can be too much. And I think to be a black man is to understand that, like, sometimes survival might have to be your default. Or at most times, you can't express yourself because you need to be there for others. And putting other people first is your duty. So when do you really have time for yourself? Hmm. Yeah. That's crazy. Like, when do you have time to breathe and figure out what you enjoy? Because sometimes, it's been studied that stoicism is a trauma response. You know, you to be emotionally numb to the emotions, to be numb to the emotions of others, is to block yourself from truly feeling. And sometimes the lack of I don't know. I guess that was it. That's it right now. So I'm just being me. I'm just being me. Just walking. Just walking. Just walking. Just walking. I'm just being me. Hey, I'm just being me. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna sit down over here. Yeah.